Under your sink. Right now, there are 9 or 10 plastic bottles. In 1955, a farm wife cleaned her whole house with 1 jug of vinegar. 1 jug. The kitchen, the bathroom, the windows, the floors, the laundry, the milk pails, the mason jars, the coffee pot, the mirrors, the linoleum, the chrome on the front of the stove. All of it. And she did not think she was being clever. She thought she was doing the dishes. Go count the bottles under your sink. I will wait. There is a glass cleaner, a bathroom cleaner, a kitchen cleaner, a floor cleaner, a stone cleaner, a stainless cleaner, a mold and mildew spray, and a tub and tile foam. 8 products, 8 prices, and every one of them is somewhere between 90 and 97% water. You're paying $4 and $5 a bottle for water with a little acid in it and a lot of blue dye, and you're paying it 8 separate times because somebody convinced you that every surface in your home requires its own bottle with its own picture on the front. She paid about a quarter for a gallon. I grew up in a farmhouse where the cleaning cabinet held 4 things: a jug of vinegar, a box of washing soda, a bar of hard soap, and a stack of flour sack towels my grandmother hemmed herself. That was the entire arsenal, and the floors were clean enough to eat off of, the windows were clear enough that birds hit them, and I never once saw a spray bottle with a picture of a lemon on it in that house. I'm going to tell you exactly what she did with that vinegar, not the version you have read on the internet where somebody tells you to dump vinegar and baking soda together in a bowl and watch it foam. That version is wrong. And in a few minutes, I will tell you exactly why it is wrong and why it wastes both of them. I mean, the real method. It has 3 parts, and the part almost nobody knows is the second one. By the end of this, you will know why your vinegar has not been working. You will know the one thing that decides whether vinegar cleans or just makes your kitchen smell like a pickle jar. You will know the 5 surfaces in your home you must never put it on because it does permanent damage, and the people selling you vinegar have no reason to warn you. And you will know why a woman with a 4th grade education and a hand pump at the sink kept a cleaner house than most people manage today with a cabinet full of chemistry and a machine for every job. Stay with me because the second part is the whole thing. Here is what you have to understand first, and it is going to sound too simple to matter. Vinegar is not a cleaner. Vinegar is an acid. That is not a technicality. That distinction is the entire reason the trick works, and the entire reason it fails for almost everybody who tries it. A cleaner, the kind in the bottle with the picture on it, is a surfactant. It grabs hold of grease and lets water carry it away. That is what soap does. That is, vinegar does not do that. Vinegar does something else completely, and it is better at that one thing than almost anything you can buy. Household vinegar is about 5% acetic acid and about 95% water. Acetic acid dissolves minerals, calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate. That is what hard water leaves behind on everything it touches. The white crust on your shower head, the cloudy film on your drinking glasses, the ring in the toilet bowl, the gray haze on the faucet that no amount of scrubbing removes. The chalk inside your coffee maker, your kettle, your dishwasher, your iron, every bit of that is mineral. Soap will not touch it because soap was never built for it. You can scrub for an hour with the strongest product in the store and it will still be there because you are using a grease remover on a rock. The acid does not scrub it off. The acid eats it. My grandmother never heard the words calcium carbonate in her life. She knew the well on that farm was hard as a brick. She knew everything in the house grew a white skin if you let it, and she knew vinegar took it off. She called it lime. The chemists call it scale. The word does not matter. She had the process right 70 years before anybody thought to put it in a magazine. And here is the part that separates the people it works for from the people it does not. Time. That is it. That is the second part. Vinegar is a slow cleaner, not a strong one. A commercial bathroom spray is loaded with a strong acid or a strong base, and it is engineered to work in 30 seconds because the company knows you are standing there impatient with a sponge in your hand. Vinegar at 5% is gentle. Gentle means slow. Slow means it has to sit. Most people spray vinegar on a surface, wipe it off immediately, see no difference, and decide the old ways were nonsense. What actually happened is that they handed a slow tool a fast job. My grandmother never sprayed anything in her life. She soaked. There was always something sitting in vinegar on that back porch, a kettle with an inch of it standing in the bottom overnight, a rag folded and laid across the base of a faucet, jars in a dishpan. She would set a thing to soak in the morning and come back to it after dinner, and by then the work was already done, and all that was left was a rinse. 20 minutes is the floor, 1 hour is better, overnight is best. That is the whole secret. It is free, it costs you nothing but patience, and that is exactly why no company on earth will ever build a business on it. There is a third part, and it is smaller, but it matters. Heat. Warm vinegar works considerably faster than cold vinegar because chemical reactions run faster when they are warm. She heated hers on the back of the wood stove in a battered saucepan until it steamed. Not boiling, just hot. A minute in the microwave does the same job today. Warm vinegar on a soaked rag will cut mineral buildup in a fraction of the time cold vinegar needs, and once you have seen that difference with your own eyes, you will never spray it cold out of the bottle again. And now let me tell you who profits from your not knowing this. The household cleaning industry in this country moves tens of billions of dollars a year, and the business model is not complicated once you see it. It is not built on selling you a better cleaner. It is built on convincing you that you need more of them. Every new category is a new bottle. Once there was soap, and then there was dish soap and hand soap. Then there was a separate bottle for the counters, and a separate bottle for the glass, and a separate bottle for the tub, and a separate bottle for stainless steel, and a separate bottle for stone, and a separate wipe for the phone screen. Nothing in your house got dirtier, that the shelf just got longer. And notice what they sell you most of? Water. You are paying to ship water across the country in a plastic bottle, and then you are paying to have that plastic bottle thrown away. If this is already making you look sideways at the cabinet under your sink, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on while you are there. I put out one of these every week, all of it the same kind of thing, the practical knowledge that worked for 100 years and got quietly replaced with something you have to buy. The bell is the only way you will actually see them. Then stay with me because the next part is the one that has been costing you real money. Then there is the appliance side of it, and this one costs you more than the bottles do. Scale is what kills small appliances. A coffee maker that brews weak and slow is not worn out, it is choked with mineral. A dishwasher that leaves your glasses cloudy is not old, it is scaled. A kettle that takes twice as long is scaled. A shower head that sprays sideways is scaled. Almost none of those machines are broken. They are limed up exactly the way my grandmother's kettle limed up. And the difference is that she knew a quarter jug of vinegar and one night of sitting would fix it, and you have been told to buy a new one. I am not telling you there is a room somewhere where men decide these things. I do not believe in that. What I believe is worse than a conspiracy and simpler than one. It is a quiet agreement among everybody who profits to never mention the cheap answer. Nobody has to coordinate, nobody has to lie. They just have to stay quiet about the jug, and they have stayed quiet for 60 years. Now, before I give you the method, I have to give you the warnings, because this is where the internet does you real harm, and I will not do the same. There are surfaces you must never put vinegar on. Acid dissolves minerals. Some of your house is made of minerals. Natural stone, marble, limestone, travertine, and most granite sealers. Vinegar etches them permanently. It will leave a dull, cloudy patch that no polish takes out. Never on a stone counter, never on a stone floor. Unsealed grout and old mortar? Same reason. Over time, it eats the binder and you will be regrouting. Cast iron and carbon steel, and it strips the seasoning off, and it will pit the metal if you leave it. Waxed or oiled wood floors and wood furniture, and it cuts the finish and leaves you with a dull streak. And this one is the important one. Never mix vinegar with bleach. Not in a bucket, not in a toilet, not in a sink where you just poured bleach. Acid plus bleach releases chlorine gas, and chlorine gas puts people in the hospital every single year in their own bathrooms. Do not mix it with anything. Vinegar works alone. That is the point of it. Now here is exactly what to do, room by room, this weekend. Start with the shower head because it is the one that will convince you. Fill a sandwich bag with warm vinegar, put the bag up over the head so the whole face of it is submerged, and rubber band it to the pipe. Leave it overnight. In the morning, take it off, run the water hot for 30 seconds, and watch what comes out. People film this. It looks like the thing was replaced, the coffee maker. Fill the reservoir half vinegar and half water, run it until the chamber is half full, then shut it off and let it stand for a full hour. That standing hour is what almost everybody skips, and it is the entire trick. Then finish the cycle and run 2 full pots of clean water through it. Your coffee will taste different tomorrow. Not better beans, just no lime. The kettle, vinegar and water, half and half. Bring it just to a simmer, shut it off, walk away for an hour. Rinse twice. The toilet ring. Shut the supply valve, flush the bowl empty, then pour 2 cups of warm vinegar right onto the ring and leave it for 2 hours. Come back with a brush and the ring lifts. That ring is mineral, not filth, which is why the blue stuff never took it off. If that one alone saves you a call out or a replacement, hit like and subscribe and turn the bell on so the next one finds you. Now keep going. There are 3 more worth doing. Cloudy glassware, Soak in warm vinegar for 1 hour. If the cloud rinses off, it was hard water film and you have your glasses back. If it does not, the glass is etched from the dishwasher and nothing on earth will fix it. Now you know which one you have. Windows and mirrors. 1 part vinegar to 4 parts water in a bottle and wipe with a dry cotton cloth, not paper. Newspaper if you have it. My grandmother used newsprint on every window in that house, and I have never seen a glass cleaner beat it. The dishwasher and the washing machine. Cup of vinegar in an empty hot cycle once a month. It cuts the film out of the lines and the door seals. Now the part where I have to tell you the internet is wrong, and this one is going to sting for some of you. Vinegar and baking soda do not clean better together. They cancel each other out. Vinegar is an acid, baking soda is a base, and when you combine them, you get carbon dioxide gas, water, and a small amount of salt. That is the fizz. That is all the fizz is. You just took a good acid and a good base and neutralized both of them into salt water in front of your own eyes. Use them separately, vinegar for mineral, baking soda for scrubbing and for odor, never in the same bowl. And here is the honest limit, which I want to say plainly because nobody else will. Vinegar is not a disinfectant. It is not registered as one, and it does not reliably kill the things that actually make your family sick. If somebody in the house has been vomiting, if you have handled raw chicken on that counter, if there is a stomach bug going through the school, use a real disinfectant and follow the label. Vinegar cleans. It descals. It cuts film and it kills smell. It is not medicine, and I will not pretend it is. My grandmother had bleach in that house too. She just used a nickel's worth twice a year, for a reason, instead of a gallon a month, for the smell of it. One more thing before I let you go, and this is the one my grandmother would have wanted me to say. The laundry. Half a cup of plain white vinegar poured into the rinse, not the wash. That is where the fabric softener goes, and that is what it replaces. Fabric softener works by coating every fiber in your towels with a waxy film. That is what makes them feel soft, and it is also what makes them stop absorbing water after a year, which is why your towels push the water around instead of drinking it. Vinegar does the opposite. It strips the leftover detergent out of the fibers and rinses clean, and it leaves no smell once the load is dry. Not one. Her towels were rough the first day and thirsty for 20 years, and she kept the same set through 3 children, because nothing in them was ever coated with anything. That was the whole idea in that house. Do not add a thing to cover a problem. Take the thing out that caused it. Now, I know the questions forming in your head right now because I get them in the comments every time I bring this up. The first one is always the smell. Will my house smell like a salad? The answer is no, and the reason is worth knowing. Acetic acid is volatile, which is a long way of saying it evaporates and leaves nothing behind. A commercial cleaner is built to leave scent behind on purpose because the manufacturer knows you judge clean by smell. Vinegar smells sharp while it is wet and smells like nothing at all 15 minutes after it dries. If your house still smells an hour later, you use far too much and you did not rinse. Damp cloth, wrung out, one pass with clean water, gone. The second question is whether the cheap gallon is as good as the fancy cleaning vinegar in the pretty bottle. The plain distilled white gallon from the bottom shelf is 5% acid, and it is the same 5% as the one with the farmhouse on the label for 3 times the price. There is also a stronger cleaning vinegar sold at around 6%, and some horticultural products far stronger than that. You do not need them, and the strong ones will burn your skin and your eyes, so leave them alone. The third question is the one that makes me shake my head. Somebody in your life is going to tell you this is old wives' nonsense. Maybe your daughter-in-law, maybe a man at the hardware store. Ask them one thing. Ask them to read the back of the descaling packet that the appliance company sells for $11 a box and see what the first ingredient is. It is an acid. It is usually citric or acetic, which is vinegar. They are not arguing with a farm wife. They are arguing with the label on the product they just recommended. If you have gotten this far with me, hit like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, because these are the videos the algorithm buries. There is no company sponsoring a video about a jug that costs $3. The only thing keeping this in front of people is you. I asked my grandmother once near the end why she never bought any of it. The store was there. She could afford it by then. She looked at the row of bottles on my mother's counter for a while, and she said she did not like owing her house to a truck. That is the whole thing, right there. She did not want a clean kitchen that depended on a shelf in a store 40 miles away. It's a factory she would never see, and a company that would not know her name if she starved. She wanted a clean kitchen that depended on her. You did not forget this. Let me be clear about that because I think some of you feel foolish and you should not. Nobody taught you and then you forgot. It was taken from you, one commercial at a time, one new category at a time, one bottle at a time, until you stood in an aisle with 60 products in front of you and could not remember that your grandmother did all of it with one. So this weekend, do one thing, just one. Put a bag of warm vinegar on your shower head tonight and look at it in the morning. Then come back and tell me in the comments what came out of it. Tell me what county you are in, tell me how hard your water is, and tell me what your grandmother kept under her sink because I read every one of these, and those stories are the reason I keep recording. And if this rang true to you, come back for the next one because I am going to show you the way she got grease off a cast iron skillet and a kitchen wall without a single chemical, using two things already in your pantry, and about 4 minutes. Nobody sells it, so nobody teaches it. I will. Keep it simple, keep it yours. And remember, the people who ran this country on a quarter a gallon knew things we are only just starting to remember. 2 notes for you as the channel operator. First, I built every factual claim here to be defensible. The acetic acid chemistry, the vinegar plus baking soda neutralization, the never mix with bleach warning, the etching risk on stone. No invented university citations, because a cleaning video that gives bad advice about stone counters or chlorine gas is the kind that gets a channel in real trouble and the honest version reads more authoritative anyway. Second, the grandmother is deliberately unnamed and unplaceable, so it works with whatever avatar and backstory you land on.